Hi there, and welcome to my video on my first grade curriculum choices. If you're new here, my name is Melinda and I'm a homeschool mom of 4 young children. The oldest is 7, the youngest is 1. So my oldest has already gone through first grade and my second will be starting first grade next year, and I'm pretty happy with my choices for curriculums and I want to show them to you. If any of these links, if you want links to any of these subjects, you can find them in the blog post link that is linked below. In there you'll find the links to the subjects if you want to buy any of these, at least the ones where it applies. And if I miss anything or you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. So let's get started on my first grade curriculum picks. Oh well, a word before that. What should a first grader learn and know? People might wonder. For me, basically a first grader doesn't need to come to first grade with prior knowledge of letters or numbers or something. It's good if it's totally fine if they do, but the curriculums I use start from the very basics, and so they don't need to know anything else before first grade. Just let them grow and play. I do like to teach them and they like to learn, so it's not that my children don't know their letters or their counting, but they're not required to know any of that before first grade. Basically, and by the time they're done with first grade, they should basically know how to read most children's books, write the basic words, and know how to count and add and subtract the basics. I think that with that they have a good first grade base, but anything extra is fine too. So for my curriculums, the best curriculums, the curriculums I love. I like, for learning to read and language arts and all that sort of stuff, I like CLE's Learning to Read program. It comes with 10 Learning to Read Light units, 10 language arts light units, and 5 reading 1 light units. Now, all of this I explained in a lot more detail about the reading program in my video on how to teach your child to read, so you can check it out. I'll link it in the description below so that you can find that. But that's what I use for first grade, for learning to read. Then for math, I use Rod and Staff Math. Now, they have it in English, but for us, shipping can be expensive here in Costa Rica, so we have a print shop here that sells them in Spanish, and I like it. So at least for the younger grades, that's what I'm doing, because math is math in English or in Spanish. I can use the same books. There's not a lot of reading, not a lot of words, so I can just explain this information in English for my children, or in Spanish too. I try to get them to at least be able to count in Spanish and the basics in Spanish. This curriculum comes with a teacher's guide that tells you what you need to say, what you need to teach. It has all the answers. I think the English one is the same. I haven't really used it, but I think if I understand right, it usually is about the same thing. And it comes with 2 of these. This is book number 2. These are the workbooks, but my daughter that will be starting first grade next year, she knows enough math already. She's pretty good at it, that I am skipping the first book and just doing the second book, because I have seen already, according to the teacher's book, she knows everything in the first half book. So I like to do it, skip on workbooks and skip on a little bit of cost. These are very decently priced here. Each lesson in the younger grades is 2 pages. It teaches from the very basics, all the information, addition and subtraction. It teaches when they should have them memorized. I like to practice and get them memorized. So I'm happy with this. I also would like pretty much the CLE, Christian Light Education Math. But for one thing, the cost, and for another thing, that is much more teacher intensive, and for this busy stage of life, I just prefer to have something a little bit simpler that covers everything I think needs to be covered, and is quite a bit cheaper. I think that works good. It also comes with a little booklet, which I don't have with me now, of timed math fact sheets, and it tells you when they need to do them every other lesson, I think, where they practice doing their math facts as fast as they can, just to get them memorized and drilled and good, well, practiced through a certain level. So I really like that too. Next, we have Bible. As a Christian family, I like if we can have some Bible. We do get Bible in every day with our family, almost every day with family devotions. They hear Bible stories we're singing all the time. But I like these books. They are also from Christian Light Education. They also have them in English and in Spanish, and for us, getting the Spanish ones, because we can get them here in the country, is far cheaper, and I don't mind if my children learn some more Spanish. They understand it anyway. And the younger grades are very simple. It's really not even work. It's just enjoying Bible stories. They have a story and one page of some simple activity that is hardly any work. So I really like that. There's 5 of these like units for first grade. There is a teacher's guide that comes with it, but I find that I don't need it. It's just I read their story to them. The teacher's guide might have this story in longer version, but that's about it, and we do the page of work. This is just like a couple of times a week, I think, that it gets done. So that's what I would use for Bible, but you can get it in English. The English is just about the same, and I really like it. For music, I just love Theory Time. Theory Time is, I don't know, you find it on Amazon. It's the first grade book. It just goes teaching music theory. Kind of, you don't have to have a piano, but it bases off the piano for sight. For me, for visual learners, someone like me, it's very helpful. And they just learn all the basics of it teaches by round notes, but on which line, on which space, all the basic music symbols that they should know in first grade. It has some ear training where they listen online to sound, and then, or one can do it on the piano, and then they say if the sound goes up or down or stays the same, repeats, all that kind of stuff. So I really like that. All that. We also do Hoffman Academy piano, and we're learning to play the recorder, the soprano recorder somewhat. So that also brings in some music theory, but I really like this. I do not learn by ear. I'm a visual learner, so I like that they have the music theory down very well. Even if when they do piano, they learn some music theory. And Hoffman Academy you can find the videos for free online. I have them linked in the blog post too. The course you can upgrade to paid with its extra bonuses. Till now we've done it for free, but I will probably be paying for it some, at least, to be able to get the music sheets downloaded and printed. But I think it's just the best piano lessons that there could be. And it doesn't go by grades, it just goes by as they advance. So we start that around first grade too. Next, I'll tell you about science. For science, I like the good and the beautiful. They have the simple, doesn't have any workbook curriculum for kindergarten through second grade. I have just this one book, but there's three different, I don't know, sets of books. And you just repeat it or do it however you want. I like it. Just has one lesson is a simple video and one lesson is a story in the storybook, and each. I don't want my children at these young ages to have to be sitting through science workbooks. So this is the way I found that they can enjoy it, and I love it, and we've learned a lot. I will be getting more of these as I can in the future. It's from The Good and the Beautiful. I don't know if I mentioned that. If you want another science that I do like, that I was given, but that I prefer not to order because it is quite costly, but I like it just about as much, is the Abeka science. I don't like Abeka for the older grades. I admit I taught it when I was teaching school, and it's just not down my line. But for the younger grades, it has lots of color and pictures and simple. And I was given these books, and so I do often use them with my younger children. But if I don't have them, I wouldn't buy them, but it's just another option that you could do because I like both of them very much. And then history and geography. I haven't done anything specifically with them. Like I don't have workbooks. I will be doing it for second grade on. You'll see it eventually when I do a second grade curriculum picks. They know all their continents and oceans. They'll know where a lot of countries, they can find them on the globe because they simply learn about it, discuss things together. I show them the globe. If they're interested. We did get these books, but this is just for Costa Rican history, because we live in Costa Rica and I want them to learn, and it's a book I just really like, but we just read through it and talk about it. And so for me, I think they know enough. History and geography. History maybe not so much, but a lot of geography, and they're learning a lot of history, and I am too. For the younger grades, I don't think it's always important or necessary to have all these subjects. And besides the math and the language arts and learning to read, which we require every day if we can, every school day, the other subjects are just a couple of times a week and more for fun. I want to just show you that I got this book too, Homeschooling Physical Education for the PE Challenged Mom. I really like it, but we haven't used it very much. It shows different exercises, different exercise programs that you can do. Because I want my children, that's the one downside homeschooling could have, not for everyone, but compared to when I went to school where there was lots of playing running games at recess. My children, while we go on lots of walks and everything like that, they won't have as much of that experience maybe with running games or physical exercise. So I want to make sure I include it in some form or other. I think now in school vacations we'll be going a lot to a place where they have a playground, a racetrack, different things like that, a park where we can get a lot of physical exercise, and like I said, we go on walks. And I do want to, once in a while, try to play tag with them or something, because I do want them to get stronger in that sense too. So besides that, we do circle time, which is when we work on Bible memory, song memory. It's when we're all together, kind of. Different facts, different safety, different information, where I have a circle time video. And on my blog post, I'll see if I remember to link it below too, just how we do circle time, so that my children get a lot of that other information that I want them to get. So we do that almost every morning. And that's about it for first grade. I think I'll be continuing at the moment. I used this for my first grader, and I'm planning to use all the same stuff for my second first grader, and I'm happy with my choices. So I hope that could help you in some way if you were wondering. And again, if you have any questions or need to know anything more about any of these, feel free to ask in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you. And let me know if there's some other curriculum that you think would be a good fit that I need to check out. I can tell you I've checked out a lot with my school teaching years and homeschooling and everything like that. I've checked out a lot, and I'm pretty happy with my choices. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video.